Good morning, grade 4. Now we'll explain with each other unit 2 geometry and with the first lesson congruency. Let's go. Now, if I have a polygon, what's the meaning of a polygon? Polygon, it's mean a closed shape formed from line segment. Okay, mister, we had to get at the first term. Yes, excellent. How many sides this polygon has? Count with me. 1 side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 side, mister. Excellent. This polygon have 7 sides. Can you tell me the name of this polygon? Yes, mister. It is heptagon. Excellent. Okay, if I have this heptagon and I have another one heptagon have the same side as this heptagon, let's go. You know this heptagon or not when we count the sides. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is heptagon, mister, because have 7 sides. Okay, excellent. What's the meaning of congruent? Congruent, it means two shape have the same number of sides and have the same shape. Okay, mister, these two heptagons are congruent or not? Mister, I can't know this heptagon, not like this heptagon. Okay, let's go. When I move this heptagon and put it over this heptagon, if they are congruent, it will be one heptagon. Let's go to see. I move it now. Oh, mister, the two heptagon become one heptagon. Okay, excellent. So that these two heptagons are congruent. Okay. We take next example. If I have this polygon and this is polygon, what's the first step to know this congruent or not? At first, we should count the side of the polygon. 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 side, 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides. This heptagon, mister, heptagon again. Okay, let's go to know how number of this polygon, of sides of this polygon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seven side, mister. Okay, excellent. Now, this congruent or not, mister? This not look like us. Okay. When we see corresponding side, this side it's corresponding this, and this side it's corresponding this, and this side it's corresponding this, and this side it's corresponding this. Okay, mister, can I see to these heptagons are congruent? We will see when I move it to put over this polygon, over this heptagon. We will see. Now we will see. We will put the corresponding side over each other. Attention with me. Now I will move it. Excellent. When I move it from here to there, become return it again and move it again. Attention with me. Oh, mister, become the same heptagon because we put the corresponding side over each other. Okay. So that these two heptagons are congruent. Now we can deduce that the two conditions of congruency. The first condition, it should have the same shape. Okay, mister. It should have the same shape and the same size and the same number of sides. Okay, the same shape and the same size. Okay, let's go next example. If I have this polygon, who can tell me the name of this polygon? We will count the side to know. Okay, mister. One side, two side, three side, four side, five side, six side, mister. It is hexagon. Excellent. Okay, we'll take a next polygon. Mister, this polygon not the same shape of this hexagon. Okay, so that it won't be congruent because they haven't the same shape. Okay, excellent. Now we will take the second example. If I have this polygon and this polygon, mister, what's the name of this polygon? We will count the side to know. Mister, this is hexagon, have six sides. Excellent. How many sides of this hexagon, of this polygon? Attention is me to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six sides. This is hexagon and this hexagon. Mister, these two polygons are congruent. No. They have the same shape, but they haven't the same side, so that they will be not congruent because they haven't the same and different size. Okay, let's to take the next example. If I have this hexagon and this hexagon, this hexagon and this hexagon are congruent or not? Mister, they have the same shape and they have the same size. Excellent. So that we will be congruent, have the same shape and have the same size. Okay, again, this hexagon and this polygon have different shape so that it won't be congruent. This hexagon and this hexagon have the same shape but have different size so that it won't be congruent. Okay, this hexagon and this hexagon have the same shape and have the same size so that it will be congruent. Figures. We will take some figures. Attention with me. As line segment, as angles, as triangles. The first figure is two line segment. If I have line segment AB and line segment CD, the length of each of them are 3 units. Can I say these two line segments are congruent or not? Yes, mister, because it have the same length, so that these two line segments are congruent. Okay, mister. Now have the same unit so that it will be congruent. Now we go to what is this, mister? This is angle, mister. How can I know these two angles are congruent or not? Attention with me to know. If I have the measure of this angle is 60 degree and the measure of this angle is 60 degree, so that these two angles have the same measure, so that the two angles are congruent here, because this 60 degree and this 60 degree, so that the two angles here are congruent. Okay, mister, these two angles are congruent and these two line segments are congruent. Okay, now we will draw triangle. If I have two triangles, can I say these two triangles are congruent or not? We will see now. I can say these two triangles are congruent if they have the same length of sides. The corresponding sides are equal in length. This green arrow and this green side equal the length of this side, and this side equals this side, and this side equal this side, and this angle equal this angle, and this angle equal this angle, and this angle equal this angle. If one of these conditions are occurs, so that I can say these two triangles are congruent. Okay, now we will take the two conditions as a school book. Two polygons are congruent if their corresponding sides are equal in length. Okay, corresponding sides, side 1, corresponding side 1, side 2 in this polygon, corresponding side 2 in this polygon, side 3, corresponding side 3, side 4, corresponding side 4, side 5 equals side 5. If all of these sides equal all of these sides corresponding, so that we should save these two conditions. Two polygons are congruent if their corresponding sides are equal in length and their corresponding angles are equal in measure. Repeat after me. The two polygons are congruent if their corresponding sides are equal in length and their corresponding angles equal in measure. Corresponding angles, angle 1, corresponding angle 1, angle 2, corresponding angle 2, angle 3, corresponding angle 3, angle 4, corresponding angle 4, angle 5, corresponding angle 5. Corresponding, it means the same place of the angle. Okay, if all of these angles are equal all of this angle, so that I can say these two polygons are congruent. Now we will take some of special case of special polygons. What's the shape? The shape, mister, is rectangle. Excellent, because each corresponding sides equal in length and all of these angles are right angles. Okay, when can I say these two rectangles are congruent? Attention with me. The two rectangles are congruent if, attention with me, their corresponding sides are equal in length. What's the second condition? The corresponding angles equal in measure. Mister, all rectangles have the same number of angles and the same measures of angles, so that we have one condition in rectangle. If their corresponding sides equal in length, I can say two these rectangles are congruent. Okay, attention with me. The second shape. Now second shape is rhombus. If we have two rhombus, when I can say these two rhombus are congruent, we have two conditions in rhombus. The first condition, aside from the first are equal aside from the second. One side of rhombus equal one side of rhombus. Who can tell me what the properties of rhombus? Mister, the properties of rhombus, all sides equal in length and the two diagonal are perpendicular. Excellent. Mister, now if the length of this rhombus equal the length of this rhombus, can I say these two rhombus are congruent? No, you can't say, because we have the second condition. I should have corresponding angles equal in measure either. Okay, mister, I understand you. so that we can say when two rhombus are congruent, I should have two conditions. A side from the first are equal the side from the second, and their corresponding angles are equal in measure. This angle should equal this angle, and this angle number 2 equal angle number 2, angle number 3 equal angle number 3, and angle number 4 equal angle number 4. The next shape, attention with me, what is this? This is two squares, mister. Okay, excellent. Two squares, exactly. What's the condition of congruency of two squares? Two squares are congruent if a side from the first are equal a side from the second. Okay, mister. If the side here is 5 centimeter and the second square is 5 centimeter, so that I can say these two squares are congruent. Okay, excellent. Because in square we don't mention the angles, because all of angles of squares are equal 90, and all of sides of squares are equal 5 centimeter, so that the two squares are congruent if a side from the first are equal a side from the second. Okay, mister. Let's go at the fourth shape. Now we have take the rectangle and rhombus and square. Now we will take the two triangles. The two triangles are congruent when the two triangles congruent if we have one condition. Their corresponding sides are equal in length. If this side equal the length of this side, and this side equal the length of this side, and this side equal the length of this side, I can say these two triangles are congruent. So that the two triangles are congruent if their corresponding sides are equal in length. Okay, mister, we understand you. If I have a special case of two triangle, what's the types of triangle, mister? The types of triangles are equilateral and isosceles and scalene. Okay, mister, the two equilateral triangle are congruent if a side from the first are equal a side from the second. Okay, if this equilateral triangle, if this side is 7 centimeter and this side of this triangle is 7 centimeter, the all of side will be 7 and the all of side of this will be 7, so that occur the condition of congruent of two triangle, the corresponding side will be congruent, so that the two triangle will be congruent, so that the two equilateral triangles are congruent if a side from the first are equal a side from the second. Okay, mister. If I have any special case of triangle, yes, a scalene triangle. Scalene triangle can be congruent to an isosceles triangle. It should have the same type to be congruent and the same sides, not all the same types. Can I have two congruent triangles? All of them are equilateral, but the side of one of them is 7 and the side of one of them is 3? No, mister. It should have the same length of sides, so that I can't say the scalene triangle and isosceles triangle are congruent. Excellent, grade 4, attention with me. The two right-angled triangles, special case. Who can tell me the types of triangle according its angles? The types of triangle according its angle. It is acute angled triangle, mister, and right angled triangle, and obtuse angled triangle. Okay, mister. Two right angled triangles are congruent when if the two right sides in the first triangle equal the two right sides in the other triangle. Mister, I can't understand. Okay, I will explain to you. Attention with me. This are the two sides of right angled triangle. In this triangle and this triangle have three. The length of this side is 3, and the length of its corresponding is 3, and the length of this side is 4, and the length of this side is 4. So that the two right angled triangles are congruent if the two right sides in the first triangle equal the two right sides in the other. This 3 and this 3 and this 4 and this 4, so that these two triangles are congruent. Okay. Attention with me. Now we will take example. Both true or false. A scalene triangle can be congruent to an isosceles triangle. This false. Scalene can't be congruent to isosceles triangle. The final, he want to from me divide all of this shape by a line, divide it into congruent shape. The first shape, this is trapezium, mister. When I want to divide it into congruent shape, I will draw a vertical line to divide it into congruent shapes. If I draw horizontal line, it will be congruent? No, mister, because the upper part not congruent to the lower part. Okay, what is this? This is circle. When I want to write or draw a line segment divided into congruent, can I draw this line segment? Yes, mister, you can draw vertical. Can I draw horizontal? Yes, you can draw. Can I draw any line segment in the circle? It will divide into two congruent shape. This hurt. How can I write or draw line segment divided into congruent shape? I should draw here. I can't draw horizontal. I should write vertical in this point. No, in this point, to divide it into congruent. Okay, mister, in the rectangle, how can I divide it into congruent shape? Can I draw by this vertical or horizontal? 12 divided into congruent shape. Mister, triangle, how can I draw line segment divided it into congruent shape? I can draw vertical, but I can't draw horizontal. Draw vertical, it will divide it into congruent triangles. Mister, in the square, how can I divide it into congruent shape? I can draw horizontal or vertical. Can I draw vertical to become congruent? Okay, and in the square I can consider the two diagonal, divided the square into congruent shape. Okay, now when I want to draw line segment, divide the shape into congruent part, in this trapezium I should draw vertical. In the circle I can draw vertical or horizontal or any line segment. In the square, passing through the center of the circle, it will divide it into congruent parts or two congruent figures. Here I should draw vertical from this point. In rectangle I can draw vertical or horizontal. In the triangle I should write only vertical. In the square I can write this line segment vertical or horizontal or the two diagonal. We have finished the homework, page 53 at school book. I hope you understand me. Thank you, grateful.